Today we'll be going over how to write a traffic report. And first of all, you can find the traffic Prezi by going to the Turner Broadcast website and clicking on November 8th. And you see the traffic Prezi right there. And that will take us to this. So we'll go through this and talk about what's important in traffic. First of all, every traffic report needs an intro, an extro, and total traffic network. So for the intro, you'll want to say something like, on the roadways, or looking at traffic, or taking a look at the streets. And that will gradually transition the audience into the report instead of just hitting them with, on I-30. Also, an extro is good. It will close out your report, and it's a good point to identify total traffic network. So you could say, that was your traffic update, thanks to Total Traffic Network. Or keep listening for more reports from Total Traffic Network here on 88.5. Total Traffic Network has to be mentioned in every single report because they provide us this information for free. Usually they charge for traffic, but we made an agreement with them that as long as we recognize them, they'll give us the traffic for free. So it's very important to follow that FCC sponsorship rule and say that they shared this information with us. Also, within every traffic report, you have traffic that you have to tell the audience, and each of those traffic updates has this information. PODEC, the problem. Was it an accident, slow traffic, disabled vehicle, construction? What was the problem? What road was it on? So if you're driving on 635 LBJ, will you see it? And then what direction? There's a westbound, and there's an eastbound 635 LBJ. People need to know what side of the roadway it's on. As you can see in the picture down here, traffic is slow on one side of the roadway. So if you're doing a report, you need to tell them it's on this side because people on this side won't see much issue from it. And then there's the at or cross-reference point for the problem. If you go way back down here, you won't see slowdowns because the wreck is up here. So people need to see and understand where on I-30 is this wreck. So you have to tell them it's before Gross Road or something like that. So your at is going to be around, near, between, wherever the problem is, but it's definitely not going to be on. So don't get those two confused. But you need an on and an at for each report. Also, you'll have the city. So I-30 stretches between Rockwall, Garland, Dallas, Mesquite. What city is it in? That will help the audience narrow it down. It's important to tell the most important reports first, and you distinguish that by the problems. So you can see accidents, traffic lights not working correctly. If you zoom in, here's probably the best way to organize things. Bulletins like road closures and things come first, then Mesquite problems, because we're Mesquite Schools Radio, so we shared those first. Then any accidents or disabled vehicles or trouble on the highway, and lastly, construction. But side street problems with delays may come before construction. We have a lot of people listening in our area. We report to some of these cities. However, people in Fort Worth can't hear us, so when you see Fort Worth reports, you probably won't go to them. And Arlington also pretty far from us. As you're looking at the street names, consider this. These are most common street reports, and it's important that you say their names correctly. When people first start reporting, they might skip over a part of a name. So I'll go through these. I-35 East R.L. Thornton, I-30 Tom Landry, 175 Sia Pond Freeway, 75 Central Expressway, Dallas North Tollway, George Bush Turnpike, I-35E, I-35E, not East, Loop 12 Walton Walker, Gross Road, Cockrell Hill Road, Bear Street, Ackerd, Manana, Monticello, Ovilla, Rio Vista, Spur 366, Wycliffe, Zion, Cadiz, Good Latimer Freeway, and Grauweiler. Again, especially with the highways, students will drop, they'll say 175 Hahn Freeway or Dallas Tollway. Dallas has lots of tollways, but this one is the Dallas North Tollway, so say the full name. And be really aware that it's Gross Road. We have a Gross Street in Mesquite, but it's so small that no reports happen on it. Gross Road is the one you say. Okay, here you can see where we get the traffic updates. It's color coordinated, with black being the biggest delays, red being slightly less but still severe, yellow being pretty mild, green being very mild, and then you'll also see blue sometimes, which indicate events, and orange, which indicates construction. You can get to the traffic site by going to our bookmarks and cctraffic.net. And what you do is you look down the list and pick which traffics you will report. You have to report at least 3, because there's always something going on that you can report. And reds and blacks are good to just pick automatically, but if you have a lot, it's good to choose the accidents first. And also always look to make sure you aren't missing a Mesquite one, because we need to report Mesquite. Okay, after you've picked yours, you just put the check in the box, then hit script. And it will take it up into a kind of pre-rough draft script for you. Here you can change up the order, and you'll be able to add your intro, taking a look at the streets. You'll be able to move things around, so it's good to change the order. We'll move the before to in front of on. And you'll also be able to make the wording more natural. Irving has had an incident cleared. Don't forget the extra. That wraps up your current report. Stay tuned for more updates from Total Traffic Network. As you can see, I didn't do the full report here, but hopefully you get an idea of how it should be done. From there, you'll copy those each individually over and paste them into your Google document, where I will read them and critique them, and you'll be able to get good feedback on your report. Looking a little more at the Prezi. It's important to see what's wrong in traffic reports so you can know how to word them correctly. So what we have here are a whole bunch of partial reports. These are just one traffic update from a whole traffic report. So basically what you're doing is looking for PODAC. Does it say the problem? Does it say the on-street, direction, at street, city? Does it say it clearly? So as you look through these, see if you can identify what's missing. Most of them have issues. If you don't find an issue in one, you may want to copy that script to me and tell me you're having trouble finding it, and I'll make sure we go over it and you know how it should be. In addition to that, it's good to see a report in its wholeness. So over here we have some full traffic reports with issues. So in each of these little traffic sections, you're going to be looking for the problem on, direction, at, and making sure it's ordered correctly. It has the intro, the extra, and the Total Traffic Network credit, and that it all makes sense. Some things you should look out for are using too much "there is" in your writing. That is dead construction, and it makes it really boring. So I only allow 1 "there is" per report. More than that, and I take off points. So you could say an accident is reported instead of there is an accident, or you'll see an accident, or an accident has traffic slow. So you can find many ways to reword "there is," and look for those as you're reading through these reports. Saying lanes, accidents, or vehicles are backed up is incorrect, because a disabled vehicle isn't on its way to anywhere, it's stuck, so it's not backed up. What it's doing is causing traffic to be backed up. Also, the right lane is not backed up. The right lane is blocked, causing traffic to be backed up. You don't have a whole bunch of drivers lined up in the right lane, wondering why the left lane's all free, but they're stuck in the right lane. Because the right lane's blocked, all of traffic is backed up. You will see in your Metro Networks reports, actually total traffic network reports, that sometimes it words things funny. It will tell you that a problem happened and there was an accident, and then at the very end of the report, after it tells you where, it will tell you how many lanes are blocked. So you need to be careful in your wording to position that well. As you can see here, it says, in Mesquite, accident on 635 LBJ Freeway southbound before O's Drive. Stop and go traffic in the area from La Prada Drive, HOV and left lane blocked. If you read it in that order, it would make it seem like the stop and go traffic was causing the HOV and the left lane to be blocked. But that's certainly not true. So you'll want to put the HOV and the left lane blocked up near the accident so that it makes more sense. Also, repeating a highway in two different problems. You may have had two things happen on 635 LBJ. Make it clear that you know that when you're writing your report, so that the audience doesn't think you aren't paying any attention. Making it seem like the backup point is the at point is another issue. You'll often see traffic stopped from, that's your backup point. Don't mix that up with the at point. Make sure it's clear where the problem is, and traffic is backed up to a different point. You may have a little too little variety in your reports, and that's because of the wording. It will say stop and go traffic all the time, or slow traffic. Think of other ways to refer to traffic. Or you may use the same intro and extra all the time. It's good to have a list of them ready so that you can use more variety. Never changing up the order. In each of your reports, it's always going to start with the on street. Every once in a while, what you need to do is just change the order. Take the before, stick it before the on. It just makes your wording a little more interesting, and it's so easy. Repeating the same city over and over. Often, everything is going to be in Dallas, so just say, before all your Dallas reports, and these next few reports are in Dallas. That way you don't have to keep repeating the same thing over and over. Here's an explanation of the backups issue and how students may misunderstand it. It helps you understand it a little better. And here's an explanation of some other issues that we have. Along with, you can peek at this one for more detail. But having seen that, you should pretty much understand how traffic should be done, and I believe you're ready to go here and write your first report. Remember, just click the ones that you will be reporting, hit script, and write your script from there, copy it into Google Docs, and I'll be critiquing it for you pretty soon. Thank you.